It just keeps getting freakier every day. And but it's the Lord's mathematical world, and you know, they borrow off of it, obviously. And but the Lord's allowed us and given us the ability to kind of see what's going on. And the Lord's very precise about numbers. He knows the number of hairs on your head. He seals the 144,000 at the end. And people say, like, well, is that a real number or is that symbolic? And I say to you, why can't it be real? Why can't he stop the great tribulation at exactly the moment? Because, well, he's already declared the end from the beginning. So he stopped past tense because it's already been done. He's already declared it. We just haven't gotten to it yet in our lives. Why can't it have happened right at 144,000? If that's what he wanted to do, he's God. So everything is very precise with his numbers. And just to give you an idea that he does have an exact number, just of non-Jewish bloodline sheep, he has an exact number. He says, blindness in part has happened to Israel until the fullness of the Gentiles be come in. That means when the last non-Jewish bloodline known as Gentiles, there's actually two definitions of Gentiles, but for the overall main sake, in the context of Romans 11, that just means well, it's sheep that are grafted in Jews. They are not of the original bloodline. The original bloodline is known as the remnant. And they're referred to as Israel in Romans 11. And it says, blindness in part has happened to Israel because they're blind. The true bloodline, or his future elect, or his elect that are still not with Jesus. There's an elect of the bloodline today that are not with Jesus, and they come alive in Jesus when the last non-bloodline comes to Jesus. That'll all take place at the abomination of desolation. So blindness in part has happened to Israel, the bloodline, until the fullness of the Gentiles, non-bloodline, be come in. So it's an exact number. It's an exact personage. We know that sheep are born lost, but they're born sheep. So when the last sheep, not of the bloodline, comes to Christ, they're going to get the call at the abomination of desolation. They're not going to believe what's taking place when the rest of the world does. Jesus said, a deception so great that if it were possible, the very elect would be fooled. But they're not fooled because they're his. And they're given the wisdom to know that what's taking place isn't like the rest of the world believes it to be. They're going to believe in Jesus type miracles. Okay. So just like all of Mary and the apostles believed, based off Jesus's miracle, that he rose from the dead, the goat world is going to believe that Trump rose from the dead. Okay. So the prime number 911 is the 156th prime number. So what I started to figure out, remember all these successions of 37s, and we've got some dates, and Michael texted me something that I had come across and made earlier. And the I am the chosen one, 999 days after I am the chosen one. That's why I asked him. That's why I sent him that email. That's why I sent you that email, Mike. I was like, that is the 21st, 2019, correct? And so there it is. And it falls on, a succession of 3 with the 37. you know, 111, 222, 333, 444, 555, 666, 777, 888, 999. Those are all 37 times 3 progressions. Well, there's a total lunar eclipse on that May 16th, and it's 999 days from him saying, I am the chosen one. So, you know, it's getting pretty sloppy out there, I'm telling you. Now, and we'll get back to that in a minute. So I started looking at people I'm close to and their numbers divided perfectly by 37. You remember the stepdaughter number? I've showed you that number 10,000 times. 3 times 19 times 1998. She has the 138 for Donald Trump and Simple Gematria. She has the 88 for Trump and Simple Gematria, and the 86ing of Donald Trump or Trump, all built into her number. She divides perfectly by 37. Absolutely perfectly. The late Miss Jackie Huffman, who ended up marrying my friend Tracy McGrady, whose son, just for God to show his glory, it's the only baby belly I ever rubbed on. And that's a woman by another name. But Tracy later married Jackie, who had a baby with Earl. Y'all remember Earl was the one that got shot and killed by his mom with a .22 caliber pistol. And I remembered all the numbers associated. And there's some other people I need to look at real quick. Okay. Okay. Now, sorry about that. So, classmate, Jackie, later married Tracy. I was the best man in their way. It's the only time I've ever been a best man. These were African-American folks, okay? And Tracy's son became NBA Hall of Famer. Why won't it quit being blue? Thank you. His son ended up becoming NBA Hall of Famer, Tracy McGrady, okay? And I always told Tracy my favorite numbers were 24 and 42. And sure enough, you divide his number by 37 and it becomes 424. Now look at his number, 156, as 9/11 is the 156. By the way, he is August 10th, 1961. 15688. So automatically times me, 82362, we're both going to divide back evenly by 37. What I found out was anybody like myself, I also divide back evenly by 37. Y'all know I'm 7 times 6 times 1961, 7 times 6 times 1961, divided back by 37, it's even. And there's your 222 code. And Michael, that the person we've been talking about, their marriage number is 6. Go figure. So, but Tracy, anyway, let's get back to him. He's got the 156 in his number, which 156th prime number is 9/11, and he's got the 88 in his number. Myself, I divide back evenly by 37. Jackie, she's 12/16/1961. I'd forgotten her birthday, so I put it in 12 times, but I remembered her number. That's how I was able to divide back by, get her birthday. 12 times 16 times 1961. Divide back by 37. She's the only person whose first 2 digits begin with 37, and she divides back by 37. Earl's number begins with 37. He does not divide back evenly. My second wife's fiance, they're both born on 727, the length of IPEC goat, Earl and second wife's fiance. They have a 37 in their number, but they don't divide back evenly. But we'll take a look at their numbers. But anyway, Jackie divided back evenly by 37. You get 10, 176. 76 is Adam in Strong's Concordance. It's also my birthday. 512. I'm not going to start getting into all that. Okay. Anyway, and Jackie's got a 76 in her main number, 12 times 16 times 1961. And she's got a 76 when you divide back by 37. She's the most unique individual there is, other than my stepdaughter, who has Donald Trump and Trump, along with being 86th in her number. And she also divides back evenly by 37. Now, me and the people below combined, and I later figured out anybody whose number divides back evenly by 37, anybody you multiply them by as a pair, y'all will divide back evenly by 37. That's just mathematics. Okay, the fact that certain people were born on days when that happens. Myself, Jackie, Tracy, and I was best man in Jackie and Tracy's wedding. And his son, not her son, his son from another lady, ended up becoming an NBA Hall of Famer, Tracy McGrady. So me and my stepdaughter, Jackie and Tracy. And I married her mom. And I was best man in their wedding. Now, when I did divide back Trump's number by 37, Michael's really been looking at that 417 for Easter. Though we're looking at other stuff with Trump too. We're looking, I mean, there's all kind of stuff with Trump. Earl, he's got the 189, which remembers Donald Trump. We believe, I think it's in Jewish gematria, or Trump is in the 1189. I can't remember what it is. Is it Donald Trump? Donald Trump. Is it Donald J. Trump? Donald J. Trump is 888 in English gematria, which is nothing more than the. Oh, and Michael did say that's a progression of 37. This 148, which was on a license tag in a movie I just got through. Well, I haven't finished it. Cruella. They sport the 140. Right when we discovered 148 is a progression of 37, I watch a movie and there's a 148 on the tag, and Michael texts me and he goes, "That comes to Donald J. Trump." So there you go. But see the 1189, that also comes to Donald J. Trump. And the 1189 when you divide Earl back by 37, it does have Donald J. Trump on it. And what I told Michael and y'all a long time ago when I started sharing my numbers stuff with you that I've been doing since I was a child is that Earl's death, being shot by his mother, numerically everything pointed to my second marriage and the divorce of it, which then pointed to the end times. And as you can see now, even Earl is pointing to the end times. Now, besides having the 1189 for Donald J. Trump in when you divide his number 37044, which remember he's born 7/27/1960. So his number is 37044. When you divide that back by 37, you get 1189, but you also have 89, an 89, and an 89. And remember, I told you, I don't think Trump goes down until my second wife gets married for a third time to a guy whose birthday is 7/27, the length of IPEC goat, because that'll give us her third marriage, her single digit marriage number is 8. That'll give you the 888. to her first husband. Remember the number was, his number was 15768, and she's 5.1. So remember, her 2-digit marriage number was 87. Then married to me, the second progression would be 88. I was her 88. Get it? So in her next, when she marries the third guy, it'll be 89. Or take the marriage number 8, 8, 8. Another progression would be 8 plus 8 plus 8. Another progression would be 8 times 8 times 8. Well, guess what 8 times 8 times 8 is? It's 512, which is Jackie's number. The lady that died of cancer who married Tracy McGrady. The one we said whose numbers were the most outstanding numbers. Except for my stepdaughters, but she's got the 512 right there in her number. So, and my second wife has been living with this guy for 10 years, 11 years. 11 years. They've been engaged for like 3 or 4 years. She's been wearing this engagement ring. Just if I find out tomorrow that she's getting married in April, or she's getting, you know, I will really be on red alert. Doesn't mean that it has to happen that way. I'm not making any predictions for absolutely sure off anything. I'm 99.99999% sure Donald Trump's the Antichrist. Okay. I mean, I'm 100% sure about what I believe about the word of God, that God doesn't love everybody. Okay. That stuff there is 100%. He has an elect that he has already created the end from the beginning. All these things. When Jesus said, I never knew you, he meant I never knew you. Not, oh, until you made a free will decision. Not, well, they're not dead yet. Maybe they make the free will decision tomorrow. No, he says, I never knew you. Because there's those that he knew from before the foundation of the world, and then there's the rest of the Broadway that he's never known. Those things I'm 100% on. Trump, I'm 99.9999999 sure he's the Antichrist. All this other stuff, projections, numbers about an event or this or that, or when you know somebody has to marry somebody, that's just things that come in and out of my head that I share with y'all. That's all. So now when you divide Trump back by the 37, I do see that 5-9 in there. Now, I'll tell you what you see the 45 all over the place, don't you? And he's the 45th president. 45. Now, Candy's fiance's next wife number is 945. Okay. And it's 945. Then Trump's got a 945, and then Trump's got a 945. Are we sure we're not waiting on her to get married before he goes down? Or before he turn, you know, maybe they get married after Trump goes down and the calamity starts, and, you know, I don't know. They have to get married or something before the abomination of death. I don't know. But what else you see is a 59, and May 9th is a date that I'm looking at. And we haven't bounced all the eclipses yet off of our rotating numbering system that we're going to get to that we'll get back to in a second. This coming April 9th is a 26th progression of 37 from when he said, I am the chosen one. But you could back it up a day, and that'll be April 8th, Michael, which is next Saturday when he is speaking. But it doesn't fall on a ×3 progression, which I think is the more important ones. You know, your 888, then you got to go 3 more till you get the 999. but it's still a 37 progression. And the number 26 is the number for agape in Strong's Concordance. So I don't know. I'm throwing everything out there. See what sticks to Johnny out there. See what sticks to Judy. See what Vanessa picks up on. See what Michael picks up on and runs with. Maybe Justin picks up on something. Jamie from Louisiana picks up on something. Who knows? Just throwing stuff out there. And then, of course, the May 16th, like Michael had said. I was watching his text and stuff come in. I wasn't paying no attention to it because I was locked into doing the same. We're doing the same thing at the exact same moment. Now, from 9/11, we got dates coming up also. Now, y'all see how big my stepdaughter is in all this. Well, she and I are 1, 3, 4, 0, 5 days apart. Well, there's that 405. And don't forget, that's the 95th day of the year. And 95 is super big because I met her mom on day 295, October 22nd, when my son turned 22. I married her mom on day 195, July 14th, 2007. And now look at the number with me and her mom combined with the year. Remember, we got the 627, 127s all the way through down in the middle. Well, we got a 2001 in our combined number this, along with timesing it by the year 2022. It's got a 2001 in it. But it's got a 95 in it. Is that day 95? Is that Taco Tuesday, April 5th? Because after that, it's got a 216, which is 6 times 6 times 6. Now, next year, we think the abomination of desolation is on the next total solar eclipse on Hitler's birthday. And I highlighted in red 24 for the 20th day of April. It's built into she and I's number. And so is the 66. And that's all about the 66th book in the Bible. So, you know, it's out there. That's all I can tell you. It's out there. And see, next year it rotates to 628, 128 for about the next 12 years. How many years is that? Where it says it's 2007 to 20, it's 15 years. That's going to rotate back and forth, 628, 128, 628, 128, 628, 128, 628, 128. Because that's what it did with the 626, 126. That is a forever occurrence. That me and my second wife have those numbers sitting dead in the middle of our combined number times the year. And remember, we lived on a street. I showed y'all in a video during the lockdowns last year. We lived on a street when we were married. That was nothing where the addresses were years. And that street, I showed y'all how it starts going at a little bit of an incline when she and I met, 2006, 2007. It peaks at 2018, excuse me, it peaks at 2019, 2020, which is when the bottom fell out. 2020 starts to go downhill at 2020. It peaks and starts to go downhill at 2019, 2020. The two addresses were catty corner, but across the street from each other. So the downward slope was like at the end of 2019 and about in the middle of the 2020 house or property. And I showed y'all all that last year. I went there, put my cell phone on the ground and showed you the incline, everything. And remember, the street ended. Heck, I brought it up on Google Maps before, hadn't I? The street ended at 2024 and turned into Kinsman Drive. Straight up, just like that. Jesus Christ is our kinsman redeemer. So she and I lived at 2015 Brentwood Drive. And I've shown y'all that many times. There it is. Yep, that ain't our vehicle. But tree's been removed. Yeah, so this is after we sold it. and you blow up these streets, and they're all streets. And you see where 2019 is and 2020 is over here. It starts to go downhill right about here, where you're still on 2019's property, but you're right there at 2020. And then you come here, there's no 2023. It just goes 2020, 2021, 2022. That's it. But then there's 2024. Then it turns into Kinsman. Well, the street is Brentwood. And OJ, didn't OJ have a Brentwood home? Like, have they been trolling me my whole life? Please, seriously. Good grief. I don't know, folks. Now there's 727 for iPet Goat. And that's 129 right there, isn't it? The 129th prime number. What's the 129th day of the year, y'all? May 9th. That's that day I was just telling y'all about, y'all. My mom died on May 6th. My dad was declared dead on May 7th. Earl died on May 8th, and I've been waiting about May 9th. And look at that. 727 is the 129th prime number. And what's the 129th day of the year? Let's just double check it real quick. May 9th. You got to include it and then go to January 1st. It's 129th day of the year. 727, the length of iPet Goat. 7 minutes, 27 seconds. You keep your eye on that day. That's a Monday, May 9th. Just keep your eye on that day. Good grief. Keep your eye on that day. I mean, I don't put nothing by nothing at this point. My one good friend, I divided it back by, and she got 666. Second wife's fiance divided his number back by 37. And it came to the 718. Remember Porsche 911, the other Porsche is Porsche 718, 71888. Remember his birthday is 727. So we're going to keep an eyeball on May 9th. Because don't forget, 95, that's either the 95th day of the year, which is April 5th, or it's the 9th day of the 5th month. You could look at it either way. 59, 95, either way. I want to go over that one with y'all. So anyway, that's pretty much it with that. We will wrap it up with, I'm still too wore out to go over Michael's prep because I really want to have a lot of energy and give it time, but it's growing. And Michael just got me hooked on something with these 99, well, with the 888 and the 666s, which blew my head up. And into just anything divided by 37, which all those numbers, 666, 222, 888 are all multiples of 37. And so I haven't been able to settle down and do one of my own preps yet. I haven't gone over any of the videos I've put up, but Michael's prep will be next. And he had the last prep too, because I pushed my stuff to the side. But this 37 stuff, I consider that his stuff too, because he's the one that got me into this stuff. And I just kind of have been running with it alongside with him. We're kind of running. I think he might be looking more at the eclipses right now. And I'm looking more at the. So let's wrap it up. I'm looking more at what dates are from 9/11. What dates are from him saying, I am the chosen one, because, and Michael's looking at that too. Michael mentioned it to me today. He goes, I said, I can't remember what the third thing was. One of them was from 9/11. And I said the other one was from when he said, I've got the illness. Now, I haven't even looked at that yet. Hang on, I'll take a quick look at it. So on April 10th, we're going to be at 555 days from when he said, I've got the illness. You could always back it up a day. That includes both dates. Can't be sure how they're going to do that. Now, just to give you a brief idea of how quick we do stuff like this, then we just convert this to 410. (2022), go to add days, add 37. That's it. That gives you the next one, May 17th. Remember, we looked at that yesterday. I just didn't put it to any May 17th. It's part of the illness numbers. And then the next progression is 74. That puts us to June 23rd, 111. June 23rd and June 23rd and July 30th. June 23rd and July 30th. Which also converts to June 22nd, July 29th, if you include the end dates. So 666 days away from him saying, I've got it, is July 30th or July 29th. That's the 18th progression. So we like that and all that kind of stuff. If I can remember these, it's then 148. That's September 5th. And then it's 185. And it's October 12th or October 11th. So that's what we're looking at, okay? So, you know, and we have to do all of this with each eclipse. Now I'm talking each eclipse. And in 2020, just in 2020, you had 6 eclipses, 4 lunar and 2 solar. So it's a lot of work to do. It's a lot of work to do. And at some point I got to quit doing the grids and the math, because I told you I started the grids. I was building them like this, but I don't want to do that anymore. I like building one. I like making them all like this, because that includes each progression of the 37. Not just, you know, 444 days. And remember, I played for Teamsters 444. Crazy. It's crazy, y'all. 444 divided by 37. Ooh, the number for the church. But the reason why 37 is big, it's the 12th prime number. 12th is the number for the church. 12 times 12, 144. 144,000. 12 apostles. The 24 elders, multiple of 12. 12 is the number for the church, or any multiple of 12 is the number for the church. Well, the 12th prime number is 37. For some reason, prime numbers are really big. AWRT is who tipped me off to prime numbers. So I appreciate that. Love to hear from AWTR on all this stuff here that we're looking into and finding and seeing. And me and Trump combined, divided back by the 37, we get the cost of my divorce to my second wife, $638. I just went out and filed, and I never did hire a lawyer. She did. But none of it, everything came to no big deal there. And that was a license tag of the car that Earl was arguing over when his mom shot him. And apparently Earl might have laid his hands on her, which is why she shot him. It was tragic. is like a Shakespearean tragedy. Just, you know, your high school quarterback, your junior year, the senior who's about to graduate from high school in early June, dies on May 8th from a 22 caliber bullet. So, you know, and he already had a baby with Jackie, who later married his cousin, Tracy, who was my very good friend. Now, I'll tell you something else about me and Jackie. Me and Jackie combined, divided back by 37. She is 376, 512 times 82362. Divide us both combined back by 37. Do y'all see that 157.12? 157.12. That is the number of the person I lost my virginity to. I mean, what's the chances? And we already pointed out how Jackie seems to have there's nothing about any of her numbering that's not just outstanding. The 157.12 person, I think she's May 16th. She's 1964, so let's divide it by 1964. Divided by May. May times 16 times 1964. Yeah, 157, 120. That's why. I always equate it to 157.12 because I don't count the zeros. I usually use decimals. Yeah, so she's 157, 120. Well, see, Jackie's just doesn't have the zero. That's all. 157, 120. I don't know. It's just crazy. And you know, I lost my virginity on October 21st, which transfer portals over to today. Today was the day that transfer portals over to when Alec Baldwin had his incident on the movie set. January 10th, transfer portal. Oh no, I forget how many days it is. 81 days, isn't it? 81 days through the portal. 81 days through the portal lands on April 1st. April Fools. April Fools, Alec Baldwin, April Fools, transfer portals back to April Fools, October 21st. October 21st when Alec Baldwin had his moment. And when my Aunt T turned 88 years old. I was with her all day today, went to a funeral of my mom's second oldest, my late mom's second oldest sibling. Check this out. Aunt Helen. I'm sitting here looking right at it. If y'all want me to take a picture and prove it to you, I got it cut out right here. She is September, she's 97. September times 13 times 1924. Watch this. Divide it back evenly by 37. Boom. The funeral I went to today, and it was in a Catholic church, y'all. I did not kneel. I didn't take part in any of the verbiage. And I was raised Catholic, went to a Catholic school. I knew everything to do. I didn't go get communion. I didn't say the word amen. I didn't say, let us, you know, any of the things they have you do, just say along. When we say this, you say that. I didn't do a thing. When everybody kneeled, the priest goes, y'all can kneel or sit. I sat. I was going to sit anyway. You know why? You know what kept buzzing through my head? I've got 7,000 that have not kneeled to Baal. I have 7,000 that have not kneeled to Baal. That's not Baal, it's Baal. I don't know how they. Nevertheless, I reserved 7,000 men, all knees, which have not bowed themselves to Baal. Romans 11:4, I have left for myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to Baal, or bow, however you want to say it. I wasn't going to kneel today for nothing, because that Bible verse that I butchered, but I knew what it was saying. I didn't put my knee in that Catholic church. I did not. When, by the way, at the gravesite, the priest goes, bow your heads, please, in prayer. I raised my head up, like my nose was in the air, my chin was up, my chin was high. Well, I'm gonna do it. I was not there to take part in any commands by Rome or by any paganistic situation. Out of respect, I went. She was the most Catholic person I had ever met. In the eulogy, he said, her and her husband came. They were there when I opened the doors. And as soon as I opened the doors, they came and they sat in the back. And they sat back there and they prayed. Whenever I used to visit her, I would look at that picture of the Pope. And did you know that I told her the truth? I did. It just kind of gleaned right over her. She's a very non-confrontational person. It was almost like I was picking on her, but I don't know. The Lord had me tell her the truth anyway. But yeah, she divides evenly, doesn't she? That's crazy. Michael, I'm going to share that 225 number with you. It'll blow your mind. Blow your mind. Absolutely will blow your mind, Michael, when I show you something about that. That's what she and I come to combined. Divide us back by 37. Look at that, Michael, Mayday. And I told you her number was going to blow your mind. You just wait. Wait until I show you, Michael. And look at me and her combined divided back by 37. And you get the Mayday, the 501. Mind-blowing. Just idiocy, craziness, mind-blowing stuff. I'm telling you, the Lord's got everything declared from the beginning, but he's got everything also on display via numbers. Prophecy is pattern. He has a set pattern to a numerical system. There's her birthday right there. I was looking to see how many days she lived. So there's proof that that's, I didn't even know this was up there. She lived 97. She died on the 16th and her funeral was today. Let's see what that came to. Now, if you include the end date, Michael, 630. First wife was 628. Then there's 629. Then there's 630. What was that? Whoa, Michael? Blow your mind. Oh, man. Anyway, lots to look at with the. Now, just to remind you, Michael is suspecting something of a potential Middle Eastern world religion attack of some kind tomorrow, based off what he has seen bounce off of previous eclipse dates by certain sets of numbers, that now it's going to also fall on this date. And Michael did say he's got some serious stuff coming up. I'll read you his text. I'll read you a text. Here it is. He said the next progression of 888 days after 3/11/2020 date, and you know, those are other dates we got to look at with adding 37 days, and at least Michael's doing it at least with 888s and 666s. It lands on August 16th. He said that date looks like a lot of eights to me. 816. Well, yeah. 16 is 8 plus 8. So the 8th month, 816. I like that, Michael. That's strong. That's big time strong, brother. He said, you call me anytime. I decoded the Washington Township rally this weekend. I'm worrying on the Selma, North Carolina rally next weekend. So I can't wait. Should I call him right now with all of us here? That'd be hilarious. I've always wanted to. I've asked him before. I will put y'all on pause. I don't want to put him on the spot, but I'll ask him. But he's going to have to make sure he's loud on his phone. Sometimes he's not. Let me pause y'all. See if Michael wants to talk to y'all. It's ringing. All right, got his voicemail. If he picked up, I was going to say, hey, can I put you on real quick? Just so you can, because at his, it's 11:16 my time, but it's only 8:16 his time. Hey, y'all, 8:16. Wasn't Michael just talking about 8:16? I believe he was. Anyway. Yeah, that's it, y'all. How to figure from 311, from 313, from each eclipse. This is a lot of math. It's a lot to do. Hey, let's end this at 11:17. What do you say? And when I end it at 11:17, let's look at all the Zoom numbers. And let's look at the length of how long it is. Let's see what number it gives us, because it's the Lord that gave it to us, because he's declared every moment of our lives. All right, love y'all very much.